What kind of Gunpla YouTuber would I be if I didn't talk about everyone's most beloved series, Reconguista and G? Today we're taking a look at one of the more interesting grunt suit designs, the Grimoire. I've tried to watch little bits of G Reco, but due to accessibility issues here in the States, it's difficult to come by. So most of my exposure to G Reco has been the red beret version of this from Build Divers. Kind of an interesting design. That pod on the chest opens up. I forget if it's an escape pod or not. I didn't watch the show super closely. Oh, and the box is messed up, but that's why I was able to buy this at a good price on eBay, because she's not doing so hot. Let's take a look inside. The GH001 Grimoire is an all-purpose mobile suit and a mainstay of the Amurian army, with a variety of atmospheric terrains that it's able to battle in and a multitude of equipment at its disposal. This thing is sure to be able to go toe-to-toe with anything else you might have in your backlog to face it. This build was very straightforward with some neat little gimmicks. That center ball pod as the core was an interesting choice. I love how the shoulders and the chest swivel on top of it. I would recommend going ahead and panel lining that before you get it all built, because the torso sits pretty low on the build. You know, guys, it just occurred to me, but this High Grade Grimoire kind of has an egghead just like I do. Speaking of eggheads, if you guys head on over to the fine people over at leapingpandahobbies.com, you can use my promo code EGGHEAD, that's promo code EGGHEAD, for 10% off your entire purchase. I use leapingpandahobbies.com as my #1 go-to for anything Gunpla related, because their customer service, shipping speed, and prices cannot be beat. Again, head on over to leapingpandahobbies.com for your next Gunpla purchase. Promo code EGGHEAD for 10% off. Now back to the video. The completed build looks very dynamic with its color scheme, even though it is a two-tone color scheme. We do take some of the 00 Gundam design notes in that singular mono large eye on the top of the head is a sticker with that convex lens over top to reflect the light, and it does its job very well. The deep grooves on that polyball on the core allow for some great panel lining opportunities. We use some black to get in there and get it done. I do think that the joints on that expressive hand would be really nice to panel line as well. Just wasn't sure how much I'd be using it, so I opted not to instead. I love the shield on this kit as well. It's got some nice grooves. I think later I'm going to go in and hit it with some pink paint to further highlight it. And you can see on the close-up of the feet that the feet have some deep tread on them. We've got some design cues that make it indicative that this mobile suit is able to traverse a variety of terrain. It almost gives me Dom vibes with the hover capabilities a little bit. We've got some boosters on the front skirting and 2 more boosters on the back skirting. We've got some vents on the bottom of the feet and a little hover booster as well. Canonically, that shield also has some boosters for emergencies. Next, we have one of the more interesting design choices, which is the beam wire that can be fired to ensnare foes, along with a machine gun that can fire both physical bullets and beam rounds, depending on the magazines that you equipped. The Grimoire has a lot of neat little tricks, and despite being a short and stout kit, it's pretty sturdy. Next up, we have a demonstration of how flexible it is, with it having the arm flexibility to reach around and pull out that plasma knife that's equipped on its back, allowing it then to outstretch and have it drawn. The color separation on the knife is a little to be wanting for. However, it's got some great panel lining opportunities, so I think you can get in there and really make it your own. Alrighty, and lastly, we'll just touch on some articulations, accessories, and whatnot. First off, we do get an extra gesturing hand, which I do like. However, I wish we had one for this hand as well, because we're using the standard sandwiching hands for the grimoire, and if you don't have the gun in here at all times, it's just going to look like he's doing the Arthur Fist meme thing, which isn't the craziest issue, but just a little nitpick. It'd be nice if we got like one extra hand. The shield's nice. It's flat, much like the rest of the body. This grimoire kit is a perfect canvas if you want to customize it with water slides and whatever else. There's so many great surfaces for you to put them on. And speaking of extra painting, I would probably just paint on these stickers with the pink because they are already peeling off. I don't know if it's because this was not a reissued Reco kit. The Bandai badge was still red, so maybe this thing sat in some not so great conditions, but these foil seals are just peeling off and not so great. I love that the head is very shiny because we're doing the 00 standard here, where we have the sticker and then the convex lens over top to reflect the light. So that's very beautiful, and I love that. This ball pod here on the chest, we can swivel. That's very unique. I love the articulation here, forward and back, and it's got tons of great lines so that you can make those panel lines really pop, which is great. And even though this is a pretty stout kit, it still bends pretty well. We can flip these vents up, and then we get a nice full range, deep bend here. The arms move around. And it's a very sturdy kit all in all. I do also like that the plastic has more of a matte finish than normal, just right out of the box. So it doesn't look as like shiny, cheapy, plasticky as like a kit normally would without giving it a little extra finish. So that's nice. Even if you don't want to top coat it, it still kind of has that. The backpack, not so much, but these browns and these muted like mustard yellows especially like have that. We get two different beam parts, which I really like because I can wiggle one to be the beam wire and leave the other one as a shooting effect, so I won't have to mess it up, which is great. All in all, the High Grade Grimoire is a really solid kit. It's a lot of fun, and I hope more of these Reco kits start to get reissued soon, because there's a lot of gems here. There's a lot of things that I'd still like to build. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, why don't you go ahead and do that? It's free, helps the video get seen by more people, helps me give out these awesome Leaping Panda Hobbies.com discount codes to more people, and helps me keep making these videos. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next week with another video.